Hello and welcome to our end of term Mansfieldmas celebration. My name's Helen Mountfield. For those of you who don't know, I'm the principal. And just to let you know what this event is and why we're all here, we had a Mansfieldmas in our chapel hall, the first one last year, curated by one of our wonderful honorary fellows, Erilyn Wallen, who I'm delighted is here this evening. Fresh from curating the Spitalfields Festival, and we had such a wonderful time sharing words and music that Erilyn turned around at the end and said, we must do this again, but next time we must get Ben as well, who we had tried but failed to get last year, who is also one of our honorary fellows and a very generous member of our community, Ben Ockery, very distinguished writer. So I'm really delighted that notwithstanding COVID, notwithstanding that we're not in our chapel hall, we are here to celebrate the end of a term together and to have our Mansfieldmas evening of words and music. Erilyn and Ben have talked about some of the themes that we want to talk about this evening and celebrate with words and music, or music and words. And the themes that came out really do reflect the things that have mattered here and I think in the world over the last few...
You're never connected to the BBC. Stand by. Someone will be with you shortly.
Erilyn, I think, yeah. I don't think the BBC is with us. I think the BBC is with Erilyn. But we've been talking, or we will be reflecting this evening on the idea of truth, on the idea of solitude and community, and finally celebrating and celebration. And all of those have been things that we've done here at Mansfield this term, thinking about ideas of truth, being sometimes much more alone than we might otherwise have been, but sometimes in surprising ways together, and ultimately still managing to celebrate truth and art and beauty and friends. And so I'm very delighted to welcome you to Mansfieldmas this evening, to thank Ben and Erilyn very much for their work and enthusiasm and friendship and creativity. And I think, Ben, are you going to start, or is Erilyn going to go next? Erilyn might say a couple of words and then Ben.
Erilyn, do you want to say something? And by the way, how are you, Erilyn?
She's Erilyn. Frozen. Yeah, I think Erilyn's frozen. I think we might have to
okay.
Just...
We'll come back to that. Okay. Well, I just want to say what a special pleasure it is being here today with you all. Extraordinary circumstances in the world, and yet we still managed to keep going and to come together in unusual ways. So this is very special, and I'm going to start with a poem called "Finding the Present." The present moment began with fire, and still it burns. It began with water, and still they drown on the margins of Europe. It began with air. See how they flee, see how the bombs fall on houses made of sand, dreams made of flesh, the blind drones of remote war. But it began with earth, where all destinies are one, but many perish for want of justice or soap or flowers instead of fears. Our age is confused. The world runs ahead while humanity falls behind, trampled on by juggernauts whose names are the fearsome powers. Across borders and nations, a new web of chains within the greatest horizons the world has ever known. Water itself resists oppression. Press her down too much and she erupts with unexpected force somewhere else. We're all on a great ship that has lost its balance, lost its way, and a huge storm is gathering beyond the iron veil of our hearts. Maybe it's a storm of revelation, maybe it's a storm of truth, of which art's the unknown Magos. The age is changing, the present moment is itself constantly revealing. Everything we see is a mask of time concealing its features. Come with me through the mask into the rights of vision and truth. Come with me into the blue garden. New time is being made here from the wandering sleep of dreamers. Shadows on the cave walls walk to and fro. Shadows on the city walls come and go. Shadows in the garden, shadows in the garden, shadows in the shadows. Our first theme today is the theme of truth. And in our discussions earlier, we felt that maybe one of the things that we needed now more than anything else was a return to truth. We felt there's been too much lies in the world, too much turning of lies into realities of their own. And it's just a feeling that it's time we went back to the simple basics of truth. The world seems to be feeling it. America seems to be feeling this need to return, and I think we're feeling it here too. And so truth and the return to truth is our first theme, and I hope you'll all share with me the music that is to follow.
What is truth? Says Pilate. Waits for no answer. Double the stakes, says the clock to the aging dancer. Double the guard, says authority. Treble the bars. Holes in the sky, says the child, scanning the stars. I'm not sure if Ben or I were going to say something now. I'm going to busk and say something, and Ben can say something too if he wants to. But the next piece is a film and a song by Anya Gleitzer, who is our artist in residence and also a postgraduate student at Mansfield. It's a song sung to some footage of snow, which she shot last winter in Siberia, about being in the taiga, in the snow, far away from loved ones. And it could have gone into the section on solitude or community, but we thought it reflected some emotional truth. And it's also got some beautiful snow. Ben, did you want to say anything? Or should we?
And it's in Russian.
Yes,
and
Russian.
Yeah, I mean, we were really moved by this because of the warmth and the sense of sweet sadness, which is a kind of truth in itself. But I think just listen to this song. I think it takes you through time and through cultures into a very lovely place of the spirit.
Создает уют, искры тлеют и гаснут сами. 5 ребят о любви поют, чуть охрипшими голосами. 5 ребят о любви поют, чуть охрипшими голосами. Если б слышали те, о ком эта песня тогда звучала, прибежали б сюда пешком, чтобы услышать ее сначала, чтобы прочувствовать до конца. В этом стылом таежном стане, как умеют любить сердца, огрубевшие от скитаний, дым костра создает уют, искры тлеют и гаснут сами. 5 ребят о любви поют, чуть охрипшими голосами.
The next piece we were going to have is by Erilyn. And Erilyn, you're back. I was hoping that you would be able to say something about why this is one of your favorites and why it matters so much to you. I know it does.
This is a song, Peace on Earth. I wanted to write something very simple, but with a sense of unease that so much of us feel at the ending of the year. And I just wanted to say one thing, that knowing that it's part of this very special night is just, you know, Mansfield, I haven't been on a fellow for long, but this college means so very much to me. The people in it are particularly special. And from the moment of my, you know, inauguration, Ben and I said, you know, we've got to do an evening of music and words, and look, it's happening in the most difficult of circumstances. Isn't that amazing? It's because it's Mansfield. But anyway, so this song is like a Christmas song, and it's a treat for all of us.
Yeah, we also felt, coming to the theme of solitude and community, that we're living in a time in which, because of the coronavirus, we're also deeply affected with the condition of solitude. Many people are in their homes alone. People are compelled to turn inwards in a way that they've never had to before in a long time. And we're also aware of community, its value, its importance. I was also thinking very much of the community of the college, which is a rich and beautiful one, as Erilyn mentioned earlier. And we wanted to celebrate both those two factors of the age in which we find ourselves. I was also very fascinated by this theme because of Albert Camus. He draws great attention to the relationship between solitude and community in the life of the artist and the life of the individual. I think before we play the next set of music to come, I also want to thank Mansfield College for the wonderful opportunity to be part of your great and beautiful community.
There is a solitude of space, a solitude of sea, a solitude of death, but these society shall be compared with that profounder sight, that polar privacy, a soul admitted to itself, finite infinity.
Before the next piece, I wanted to step in and say something. I also want to remind everyone that, you know, when me and Erilyn and Helen got together to discuss this, we said, you know, let's put out a call to people to send in material, record themselves, in whatever form they wanted. And we were kind of absolutely blown away and delighted with the quality and the beauty of the contributions that everyone has made. It just shows the strength of the spirit of Mansfield, you know, and the sheer quantity of talent that there is. I want to introduce this next piece by Paul Lodge, Professor Paul Lodge, by saying that this is where I get a chance to be a bit of a DJ. And I want all of you in your homes to dust down your dancing shoes. It sounds most unlikely, but I want you to dance to this. Just get up. If you've got some wine, knock it back a little bit and just dance to this, because this is where poetry meets music in a contemporary sense. We've been listening to this in the family here, and we've been dancing to it with great fun, so join in.
This is Wordsworth at his most romantic, and he is trying to take us out of ourselves, out into nature, so that we can lose our ego and have a sense of union, and then bring it back with us, so that when we're in less sunny, less glorious climes, we can revive that and find ourselves dancing with the daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, and all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, fluttering and dancing, dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, this stretching never-ending line upon the margin of the bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth to me the show had brought. What wealth to me the show had brought. For up when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash across my inward eye that is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils.
On the theme of friendship and community and connection, I'm going to read a passage from Audre Lorde's book, Azami, A New Spelling of My Name. And this passage describes the friendship between a West Indian girl and her friends, the Branded, in high school. We were the Branded, the lunatic fringe, proud of our outrageousness and our madness, our bizarre colored inks and quill pens. We learned how to mock the straight set and how to cultivate our group paranoia into an instinct for self-protecting that always stopped our shenanigans, just short of expulsion. We wrote obscure poetry and cherished our strangeness as the spoils of default. And in the process, we learned that pain and rejection hurt, but that they weren't fatal and that they could be useful since they couldn't be avoided. We learned that not feeling at all was worse than hurting. At that time, suffering was clearly what we did best. We became the Branded because we learned how to make a virtue out of it. How meager the sustenance was I gained from the 4 years I spent in high school, and how important that sustenance was to my survival. Remembering that time is like watching old pictures of myself in a prison camp, picking edible scraps out of the garbage heap, and knowing that without that garbage, I might have starved to death. The overwhelming racism of so many of the faculty, including the ones upon whom I had my worst schoolgirl crushes, how little I settled for in the way of human contact compared to what I was conscious of wanting. It was in high school that I came to believe that I was different from my white classmates, not because I was Black, but because I was me. For 4 years, Hunter High School was a lifeline. No matter what it was in reality, I got something there that I needed. For the first time, I met young women my own age, Black and white, who spoke a language I could usually understand and reply within. I met girls with whom I could share feelings and dreams and ideas without fear. I found adults who tolerated my feelings and ideas without punishment for insolence, and even a few who respected and admired.
Here's a pretty little song about death, yeah. I saw her face yesterday. Here's a pretty little song about love, yeah. I couldn't remember what to say, yeah. Here's a pretty little song about life, yeah. About trying to find a wife, yeah. Here's a pretty little song about me. About trying to be free, yeah. Here's a pretty little song about you, so you can feel free too, yeah. Here's a pretty little song about death, yeah. I saw her face yesterday. Here's a pretty little song about love, yeah. I saw it in her eyes, she didn't care, yeah. Here's a pretty little song about hate. I found out much too late, yeah. Here's a pretty little song about maybe. I said, how much will you pay me? Here's a pretty little song about me, about trying to be free, yeah. Here's a pretty little song about you. So you can feel free to, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to say how great it is to have sections with the section with a reflection on solitude and community, have people from every bit of our community, students squashed into one of our rooms playing together, Paul in his home and Michelle in hers, and Nick, our hall manager, sitting in the hall in his mask playing before work. It's wonderful. We wanted then to the final section of our Mansfieldmas celebration to be a celebration. It's been such a hard year, but we have come together and we have really brought one another, I think, comfort and humanity. But actually the first two pieces in the celebration section could equally be in our community section. The first one is a poem by Brenig Davies for his friend Martha, who is a friend he made at Mansfield, who's also a student here. She's a member of his household. Brenig wrote it in one of our creative writing workshops. We've been holding workshops this term, which anyone is welcome to next term. They've been on Zoom this term with the very wonderful writer and teacher, Kate Clanchy. And this was written at the weekend when we were waiting for the election results from America and no one could really think about very much. So Kate encouraged us to think about things and people we wanted to celebrate. She shared with us Denise Smith's poem, My President, which I recommend you look up on YouTube because it is an amazing poem about the people you celebrate and would like to be part of your life and your world. And that's what Brenig's poem is about. And then there's a painting, which I think maybe needs some explanation too, by Bethany Shiner, one of our new postgraduate students who's doing a law doctorate. And it's a painting that she painted for a friend who she feels she can be very much herself with because she wanted her to see her power and positivity and to celebrate her and her achievements. And although she says some self-deprecating things about the painting, she said she wanted to share it because it was painted in joy. And then we have some celebratory music from some more of our fellows and students after that. That was all I wanted to say before this section.
This is a poem that I wrote for my good friend Martha, whom I met here at Mansfield. It's called For Martha. Do you want a cup of tea? And of course I always do. Strong enough so the spoon stands up in the Springsteen mug you bought me. Have you heard? And usually I haven't. So you play it for me, the pair of us. The radio, our household god. Are you okay? And sometimes we're not. Laughing at how much we hate ourselves till we tell ourselves it's funny. Crying over mummy issues and Moon Song by Phoebe Bridgers. Are you coming? And of course you always are, but always running late. Left blazing across the quad with wild wet hair, yet never a sniff of a cold. Shall we go? And we will. We do. Two shadows on Broad Street with big jumpers and bad accents, making jokes and asking questions, to which we both already know all the answers.
Closed, still open. How do we improvise in these difficult times? How to keep our art and spirit alive? We have to find a new way into the future that is better than the way of the past. Perhaps now, like children who have woken the kraken from the deep, we'll learn what laws of life to keep. No more can we blame God or the gods. We are the evil that keeps on coming back to us. It's time to re-examine our histories find a new road to the future, get back to the balance we've lost, or we're on the path to dust. Our past has led us here, but to have a radiant future, a new consciousness is needed, something brave beyond fear. This must be the time of awakening. The Kraken's here. Can we in these times improvise? Upwards our dreams must we revise.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Erilyn. Thank you, everyone who's contributed and participated. Conrad Weiskrantz, the video editor, Tess McCormick and Dan Hall, who've been so instrumental in making this all happen. Thank you for your creativity and generosity, Ben and Erilyn. I really appreciate it. The entanglement in D minor that Stephen Blundell and Nathan Bentley sent at the end really made me think what this was about. They're a tutor and a student. Stephen's one of the world's leading analytical physicists, but he shared music he's written with us. Stephen and Nathan work together and learn together, and they also play music together apart. And Stephen has shared with our college community the photographs he's taken cycling around on his own early in the morning in this beautiful city we share with each other. And it really reminds me that although this has been such a difficult term of physical distancing, it hasn't been social distancing or intellectual distancing, and it hasn't been emotional distancing. And I really hope that you go into your holidays with celebration and a sense of community. And I just want to thank you all very much for being here. It really is the honour of my life to be the principal of this fantastic college, and I'm incredibly grateful to you all. Thank you.
It's been wonderful. Bless you all.
It's been great to be here. Thank you.